Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, Boston Whaler breaks ground on a company expansion. The cold snap has sent many turtles to the Marine Science Center, and the Big Read is kicking things off with a honky-tonk. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Keith Norden from Team Volusia. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Boston Whaler recently broke ground on an expansion of its Edgewater, Florida headquarters and represents an important next phase in Whaler's market growth opportunities. Spurred by the demand of the company's legendary recreational sea vessels, Boston Whaler's expansion continues the boat builder's charted course along a positive trajectory. The company is planning on expanding its Florida headquarters by approximately 60 acres on the facility's northern border. This is in addition to its current 45-acre footprint. Boston Whaler employs roughly 850 people at its headquarters and is committing to hiring an additional 125 on board.
Most of us have raised our families here. I've been here for 22 years. This is my home. And I'm proud that it's my home, and I'm proud that that Boston Whaler contributes to the local community, and we take it seriously. The fact that the city and the county understand that if we can expand and do it in a proper way that protects our neighbors' privacy and their life and allows us to expand, everybody had to work. You know what it's like. Everybody has to work together.
Volusia County Vice Chair Deb Denny's, along with Edgewater Mayor Mike Ignasiak, each spoke at the event, citing the tremendous success of Boston Whaler in the industry and its contributions to the community and local economy as a major employer and a good corporate citizen. Part of the groundbreaking event included a tour of the Boston Whaler complex from its administrative offices up front to its boat launch area on the Intercoastal Waterway, where boats are tested in the water. It was just back in 2015 the company celebrated the expansion of its manufacturing facility by nearly 60,000 square feet. To learn more about economic development in Volusia County, you can visit floridabusiness.org. With the recent cold weather and ocean, river, and lagoon water temperatures dropping, Volusia County's Marine Science Center rehabilitation specialists have been treating threatened and endangered sea turtles that have become paralyzed by the cold. The MSC is part of a stranding network of facilities that accept and rehabilitate stranded sea turtles and seabirds. Since the drop in temperature, efforts have been ongoing by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to rescue and triage affected sea turtles, keeping them in warming pools in Brevard County. The more severely affected sea turtles are sent to area sea turtle hospitals for rehabilitation and intensive care.
We at the Marine Science Center have gotten a lot of our own local turtles as well that have washed up on the beach this time of year. And what we're seeing, we are seeing a couple turtles that are what we would call a typical cold stun turtle, that basically they need to be warmed up slowly and gradually. Usually their electrolytes are out of balance, they're a little dehydrated, and those are all things that we can treat with fluids and just a little bit of time. Those ones usually are quick turnarounds, and we can get them back out as soon as we can. We've done x-rays and different diagnostics to look for pneumonia, because when they're floating at the surface and the air temps are in the 30s, their lungs are up at the top of their shell, so that predisposes them to pneumonia. And that's another thing that we want to watch for and treat as well.
Seabirds also have been affected by the drop in temperature, as Volusia County sees a large influx of migratory seabirds from November through March. If at the beach, keep in mind there aren't many sea turtles on the beach this time of year. If you see one, it's most likely in trouble. Also, any bird that can be approached is most likely in trouble too. The dagger-like bill of some bird species can cause serious injury, and officials suggest leaving the bird alone and calling for help. If you see an injured or sickened sea turtle or bird, you can call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission at 888-404-3922 or contact the nearest Volusia County Beach Safety Officer or lifeguard. You also can call the Marine Science Center at 386-304-5545.
something we do several times a day without even thinking that it could save a life. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hand washing is one of the most effective ways to avoid getting sick. And at this time of the year, it also can prevent spreading the flu. Community Health Nursing Director Denise Ayers.
The flu will stay on the door handles, on keyboards, on cell phones. So wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
There's a science, if you will, to washing your hands correctly. First, turn on the water, soap up, and wash all parts of your hands, the front, the back, between your fingers, and even under the nails. To make sure you're leaving the soap on long enough to kill the germs, Nurse Ayers says to sing the happy birthday song. Consider singing that in your head if you're at work. Finally, dry your hands and use a dry towel to turn off the faucet. This way you are not touching dirty surfaces with clean hands. It's not just your hands that need to be washed. You can pick up germs from surfaces like countertops and door handles, to name a few. Wipe those down with a disinfectant. Here are a few more tips. Keep your distance when you are sick. Keep your distance from others who are sick. Don't shake hands with people who are sick. And cough or sneeze into a tissue. If you don't have a tissue, do it like a vampire. That means cough into your elbow to trap the germs. And if you want to keep the germs from infecting you, keep your hands away from your nose, your mouth, and your eyes. Okay, hypothetically, let's say you have a fever, body aches, chills, you're tired, and it all came on suddenly. Well, you just may have the flu.
You want to stay home, you don't want to go to work, even though you're dedicated, you want to stay at home, you want to not expose anybody else. And if you don't feel better in a couple of days, you might need to go to the doctor because you might have a secondary bacterial infection which can be treated.
All right, here is the bottom line. Experts say if you don't want to get the flu this year, you have to get a flu shot. And you can do that at all Florida Department of Health locations right here in Volusia County. For times, call the department. Call 386-274-0509. That's 274-0509 and select option 1. For the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County, I'm Dr. Holly Smith.
Organizers of the 2018 Daytona Beach Half Marathon are excited to welcome a special guest. Ben Kennedy is used to lapping the track in his race car, but he's ready to climb out from behind the wheel and lace up his sneakers for a different view of the speedway.
Great corner by Ben Kennedy.
Strong exit. I don't think Moffitt can get there.
I'm excited for February 4th for the Daytona Beach Half Marathon at Daytona International Speedway, the only motorsports stadium.
What a race! Ben Kennedy.
Do you think you can beat this pro on his home turf? The February 4th event is almost here. Don't miss your chance to take part. The 2018 event offers something for everyone with a half marathon relay, 5K, and speedway challenge, where runners take on both the half and 5K. Half marathon and 5K finishers both earn a medal and tee, and those who log all 16.2 miles for the challenge earn a third finisher's medal and a full zip hoodie. After completing your race, celebrate at the Speedway while enjoying breakfast and beverages. Make a pit stop in the Daytona Tortugas Kids Zone, where your little ones can play free games and sign up for the Kitty Dash, taking place on the track at 10 a.m. With all the participant perks and festivities, you won't want to miss out on this event. Time's running out. Online registration closes February 1st. Sign up today at DaytonaBeachHalf.com.
Get ready to start your engines for the Daytona Beach Half Marathon. Experience the race that takes you to the Speedway, beach, and back. Start at the World Center of Racing's flat asphalt track, through beautiful Daytona Beach, over the Halifax River, onto the hard-packed sands of the world's most famous beach, then back to Daytona International Speedway for a checkered flag finish. Register online at DaytonaBeachHalf.com.
Put on your best cowboy hat and boots for a honky-tonk good time celebrating the spirit of true grit at the Deltona Regional Library. Library staff is planning a celebration to kick off the NEA Big Read program from 2 to 8 p.m. Saturday, January 27th. The Western-themed event will feature family games, carnival activities, crafts, a caricature artist, and food trucks on site to feed the guests. Mountain Brew will perform bluegrass, classic country, Cajun, and mellow pop and rock standards from the 1940s to the 1990s. The 2010 True Grit movie starring Jeff Bridges will be shown in the Library Auditorium at 4 p.m. Honky Tonkers can test their knowledge with True Grit trivia and take part in contests for character lookalikes, best yee-haw, and kids and adult costumes. The Boggy Creek Band will conclude the kickoff with a country music concert and dancing from 6:30 to 8 p.m. The event is part of Volusia County Public Library's NEA Big Read, a 6-week celebration of True Grit by Charles Portis. The NEA Big Read is a program of the National Endowment for the Arts in partnership with Arts Midwest. It's shaping up to be a rip-roaring good time, so mark your calendars for Saturday, January 27th at the Deltona Regional Library. For more information, you can call 386-248-1745. For a complete list of programs, you can visit volusia.org/bigread.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
The Volusia County Council recently approved changes to the council's meeting calendar. Beginning on February 6th, the Volusia County Council will begin meeting on Tuesdays. The County Council consists of 7 elected officials who make broad policy decisions for Volusia County government. They also review and approve the annual budget and pass ordinances as necessary. Meetings are generally held on the first and third Tuesdays of each month in the Thomas C. Kelly Administration Center in DeLand. The public is invited to share their comments at 9:30 a.m. and the meetings begin at 10 a.m. If you cannot make the meeting in person, you can follow a live stream of the proceedings. For a complete list of 2018 council meeting dates and the Chamber's live stream, you can visit volusia.org. Let's join Community Information Director Joanne Magley in the studio with her guest, Keith Norden from Team Volusia.
Thanks, Amber. Well, economic development in Volusia County is a team sport, and new company recruitment effort is led by Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation. So today, our guest in the studio is Keith Norden, Team Volusia's President and CEO. Hi, Keith.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
So for those folks who may not be familiar with Team Volusia, give us some background into what your organization does for Volusia County.
Yes, we are the major recruitment arm of really marketing the county to companies outside of Volusia County and outside Florida. And it's a process of building relationships. It's a process of identifying companies who may have a need to expand or relocate into another area of the country.
And so the county has our economic development division. The cities, many of the cities have their own economic development divisions. Exactly. We have the CEO Business Alliance. So talk about how Team Volusia works with all those entities to really make Volusia County very desirable for businesses.
We do, and we work very collaboratively, not only with the Volusia County Division of Economic Development, very, very closely with the CEO Business Alliance, and then our chambers of commerce in our cities. Most importantly, it's always interesting to know that there is not overlap, in that the county's Division of Economic Development is responsible for business expansion and retention. These are local issues, as are some of the cities and our chambers of commerce. And then the CEO Business Alliance is an all-private group, and that's led, their board are the corporate icons of our community. And they are all private, and they can do things that the public-private organization or the public organization, the county, can't do. Their leadership is spectacular, and we work very closely with their president and CEO, Kent Sharples.
So talk about the pipeline. You always talk about the pipeline, and the pipeline is where various prospects are at. So you identify a company that could be a good fit for Volusia County. So talk about the progress from getting them as a prospect to all the course through the pipeline that it takes to actually seal the deal.
And you know, business recruitment is sort of like when you identify a company. Identifying a company is like looking for a needle in a haystack, because there are a lot of economic development organizations, a lot of areas of the country and world that are looking for these same companies that could locate in their area. So what we do is we go out to targeted trade shows that are in our specific industry targets, and we also go to business recruitment missions to higher cost areas typically. We identify companies, we pre-schedule appointments with companies after we identify who they are. We meet with them either at a trade show or in their respective offices, and then we put them in a contact database of just contacts. When we have serious conversations with them and we send a proposal to them, they become a stage 1.
Okay.
The contact is a stage 0. It's at the top of the pyramid. Stage 1, where they've talked to us about visiting, there's interest in Volusia County, they're stage 1. Once they visit, which is a stage 2, we qualify them. We know they're interested, they've visited the area, they've looked around at our 16 cities to make sure, wherever the product was, they want to make sure that it's the right location for them. All the time they're looking at other areas in the southeast or around the country. And then when they visit more than once, they become a stage 3. That means they're really serious. They're honing in on the area. They want to take a look again at the area, kick the dirt again, and then when they come into a negotiation period of maybe negotiating a lease or a sale of a piece of property, they become a stage 4. And then it's purely in a negotiation. And then stage 5 is when we actually announce it and they've decided on Volusia County.
So it's quite a process, and understandably, when a business is going to decide to either build, have a new location in Volusia County, expand to a new location in Volusia County, or have their headquarters there, that's a decision that takes a lot of time and research, and again, weighing the options of this community versus that community. And so that's where your team comes into play, of putting everything on the table of why Volusia County has the best to offer.
Exactly, and that's in print typically before they visit, and all of our packages are customized to their needs. But when they do visit, then we bring the team of officials that really need to answer questions that they might have. So we would have a representative from the Division of Economic Development, the CEO Business Alliance, Career Source, Flagler, Volusia, the chambers, a respective city, utility companies. It all depends on the type of project, and it's really teamwork at its best.
So talk about some of the targeted industries that you are trying to recruit here.
Exactly. Well, we have a broad array, about 6 target industries that were actually identified by a out-of-town group, the Site Selection Group out of Dallas, highly recommended. But some of those County has great interest on aviation and aerospace, and they're highly paid jobs. So we are helping the county and assisting the county with that target. Because we're a public-private entity, we are very aggressive in where we go. You know, we've been to various air shows, NBAA, MRO, but then our other targets are office, and we were very successful at recruiting Teletech here, which is a large office user of 900 employees. And then biomedical, because of our medical device and health care organizations here, which are some of the largest employers. We have great examples from all those targets that we use when we go out and market the region.
So every year, your Team Volusia has an annual meeting.
Exactly.
And you recap the previous year. So on January 11th, you had your annual meeting. You had a recap of 2017. What were some of the things that you highlighted at that annual meeting?
We had a busy 2017. We actually brought the strategy to success to our investor community and stakeholders in the 2016 annual meeting, and all during 2017 we've been working on the action steps of that strategy. It's a 3-year strategy. We had an implementation committee who prioritized the action steps, so we're really into first year of those action steps. We also did 31 outreach activities, which is an impressive amount of activities for really 3 people that go out on the road, and that's both globally and across the U.S., all targeted areas. And then we hosted 4 groups during the 2 races, Daytona 500 and the Coke Zero race. We hosted consultants, Daytona 500 about 30 consultants, Coke Zero about 12 consultants, and then also a trade mission from Montreal. And when you host these companies and you take them to Daytona International Speedway, that's just a portion of their visit. Exactly. You know, typically we'll come over to West Volusia, we'll be in DeLand showing off the city center. We do windshield tours all throughout West and East Volusia, and then we introduce them to our business leaders in the area. You know, we're salespeople. They really need to meet with our business leaders and political leaders, elected officials, to understand the community. So we're doing all that during their visits. So let's talk a little bit about the makeup of Team Volusia and the board of directors, because the cities and such and businesses invest in Team Volusia. And as you mentioned, it's public and it's private. So talk about the makeup of that. Sure. We have the county participating financially in us, and in fact, County Manager Jim Deneen has a seat on our executive committee and is an officer of our organization. We also have other cities contributing at that level, and also the board. 13 cities participate financially, and then the county. We have 7 colleges and universities. Most all of them are at the board level, so we have all the college presidents involved in our organization, or their designees. And then we have about 70 private sector companies, all contributing and all participating and engaged in our activities. So a total investor group of almost 100 people. And didn't I hear it mentioned that this is one of the first times where the private investment is actually more than the public investment, which is a good sign. Exactly. In the beginning, we were more publicly funded, about 54% public, and now we're about 46, 47, and then the rest is all private sector investment. And what does it mean to have this commitment from the community in this type of recruitment effort? They obviously understand the importance of this organization. Correct. And because we are marketing Volusia County totally, all 16 cities, in the county, we've really brought the county together, because we have engaged leadership from all areas of the county. So when we have a visitor come in or a company visiting, they look at Volusia County as one whole. They may stay in DeLand or they may stay in New Smyrna Beach, but we show the entire county, and they think of it as the entire county and part of Central Florida.
And whether a company decides to start their business in Edgewater or in DeLand or in Ormond or in Daytona, wherever they decide to call their new home, it's really a win for the entire county.
Exactly, because those individuals that work there, and these are mostly new individuals to Volusia County, they would live all over the county. And you know, some people like rural, some people like urban, some people like beach communities when they move in, and so it's really a win-win for every community, because those folks are buying automobiles or opening bank accounts or living and paying real estate taxes in the respective cities.
So Keith, where can people get more information on Team Volusia? Maybe they want to know more about the recruitment efforts, or maybe they just want to have a talk maybe with their community group.
Sure, we'd love to do that. We're out and about talking about Team Volusia almost every week, and they can reach us at by calling us or looking at our website. Our website is www.teamvolusiaedc.com, and our phone number is 386-265-6332.
All right, well, Keith Norden, the CEO and President of Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Joanne.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.